before you leave,
We're going to get started. I'm Dr. Stacy Gross, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Western Middle School. To begin today's Distinguished Teachers Award ceremony, I'm pleased to introduce the Greenwich Public Schools Festival Orchestra. Unfortunately, Dr. Connie Barrett, who directs this orchestra, will be unable to be with us today due to illness. But our first piece will be conducted by Jessica El-Khatib, and the second piece will be conducted by Bethany Cook. As our students are exiting, can we have one more round of applause for the Festival Orchestra? As we prepare for the next section of today's ceremony, I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge some of our dignitaries in the audience today. First, please join me in acknowledging Mrs. Leslie Moriarty, the Vice Chairman of the Board of Education. Dr. Sidney Freund, Superintendent of Schools. And Dr. Ellen Flanagan, Deputy Superintendent of Schools. I'm also thrilled to see so many teachers and administrators from across the district here today supporting all of our award winners. So thank you for joining us today. While we're setting up, I also want to draw your attention to someone who works, as everyone does, but works very hard in the district. Not only is he in charge of the curriculum, hiring teachers, getting supplies, supporting all of our students in the music and art. As you can see, he also moves chairs when necessary. So please join me in acknowledging Dr. Jeffrey Spector, the coordinator for art and music of the district. And if we could have one final round of applause for the Western Middle School custodians who worked so hard today to make this a lovely event for you. Do you need another chair? Thank you for your patience. It's always a pleasure to host the Distinguished Teacher Awards Ceremony because it's an opportunity to formally recognize the wonderful work of our educators. I'm continually awed by the impressive commitment and talent the award recipients demonstrate each year in such a wide variety of programmatic areas. Horace Mann in 1848 stated, "Education, then, beyond all other devices of human origin, is the great equalizer of the conditions of men, the balance wheel of the social machinery." The daily actions of the teachers honored today embody the philosophy of this quote. Our district's vision of the graduate highlights the importance of preparing our students with the ability to comprehend and solve complex problems, the skills to successfully communicate ideas, responsibility for their own mental and physical health, as well as the ability to pursue their own unique interests, talents, and passions. Today's distinguished teachers have skillfully guided all of their students toward achieving these lofty but essential goals. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the chairman of the Distinguished Teachers Awards Committee, Ms. Barbara Tormenson.
Good afternoon. First, I wanted to say thank you to the Greenwich Public Schools Festival Orchestra. They were wonderful, and we really appreciate their sharing their talents with us today. I'd now like to take a moment to recognize a few people, in particular, the Distinguished Teacher Award Committee members. As I call your name, if you're here, could you please stand up? Joe Frame, who is our Vice Chair, and also a past Distinguished Teacher Award recipient. Ann Miller, our Secretary. Kevin Coutant, our Treasurer. Patricia Ranieri. Lillian Perrone. Bianca Cortland Cox. Tammy Collins. Fran Chaparral. Kei Yamamoto. Melissa Schreff. Lieutenant John Wachowski. Carr Westbrook. Susan Batchelor, also a former award recipient. Margaret Sanantham. Brenda Macri. Kathy Delahanty. Donna Curtis. And from the Board of Education, we have Jonathan Cohen and Natalie Queen. And I have also noticed several past members of the Distinguished Teachers Award Committee, and I'd like them to stand up as well, too. I think I saw Dora. We thank you so much for your commitment to this program. I also want to take a moment to thank the sponsors of this event, which are the Greenwich Rotary Club and the Kiwanis Club. And now I'd like to recognize the past distinguished teachers that are in the audience. If they could please stand up. Thank you. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry once said, "If you want to build a ship, don't drum up people to collect wood, and don't assign them tasks and work, but rather teach them to long for the endless immensity of the sea." The endless immensity of the sea. Inspire them to dream. That is what so many of our Greenwich Public School teachers do. They inspire their students through the love of learning to fulfill their dreams and aspirations. It has been an honor for me to have served on the Distinguished Teachers Award Committee for 5 years. And each year, I am truly awed by the breadth of talent and the passion of our teachers. They are truly committed to their profession, and most especially to their students. I want to congratulate all of the educators who were nominated. Your nomination is a testament to the positive impact that you have had on your students. We appreciate the hours spent honing your craft, but most of all, the genuine care and concern that you have for our students. Greenwich is truly blessed with extraordinary teachers, and I thank you. I'd now like to begin our program by introducing the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Sidney Freund.
Good afternoon, our colleagues and friends of our honorees, our former distinguished teachers, and of course our honorees this afternoon, our distinguished teachers. I'm truly awed to share a stage with you and humbled by all that you do and all that you contribute to our students. Teaching is a noble profession. and you are the noblest of the noble. You epitomize what we expect of all of our teachers, the best of the best, who strive to bring out the best in all of our children. I've been learning about each of you and talking to colleagues, and I'll share with you some of the descriptors that I've heard. Dedicated, excited, excitable, engaging, boundless energy, untiring, creative, committed, humorous, knowledgeable, inspirational, caring, creative, a true colleague, compassionate, and generous. Wow. I understand why each and every one of you is receiving this distinction and honor this afternoon. We hope that you'll continue your work for many years to come, inspiring your colleagues, inspiring our students, promoting everything that we want for all of our children, making our vision become a reality. Congratulations, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Dr. Freund. Now for the presentation of our 2010 Distinguished Teachers. Our first nominator is Karen Meyer, who nominated Allison Allerton. Allison teaches general music and directs the choral ensemble at Eastern Middle School.
Good afternoon. It is a distinct pleasure and an honor to introduce Allison Allerton as a recipient of the Greenwich Public Schools Distinguished Teacher Award. Allison adds immeasurably to the quality of education and community at Eastern and to the music program across Greenwich. Allison's energy, work ethic, dedication cannot be surpassed, or I would argue even matched. To illustrate, the night the awards were announced, Allison was so busy with her endless endeavors for the Greenwich Public Schools that she couldn't find out that she won the award until 8 p.m. And then 2 days later, when the awards were announced at Riverside, Allison was in Chicago as the piano accompanist for the Greenwich Public Schools Honor Choir. And it's not just that Allie does so much, which she truly does. She leads the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade choruses at Eastern, each with 120 plus members. She teaches general music, designed an electronic music curriculum so that all students could enjoy the beauty of creating music, runs select all boys and all girls choirs, one of which rehearses every day at 7:10 a.m. at Eastern, directs and produces the school musical and madrigal feast, is the piano accompanist not just for the town's honor choir, but for all Greenwich High School choral groups. What is astounding is the excellence which Allie consistently achieves in all of the above. On top of it all, she has such a pleasant and professional demeanor. She is always upbeat and smiling. Simply put, she is a wonderful person and a treasure to the students and community. I would also like to point out Allie's first-rate intellect. She achieved a master's degree with a 4.0 GPA from the Eastman School of Music, which was recently ranked as the top school in the nation for music. The kids sense Allie's enthusiasm and commitment, and they're drawn to her. She provides them with structure and discipline. She cares about effort, not just raw musical talent, and gets them all to perform at a higher level. And the students are not learning just about music. They're learning lessons for life, about striving, continual improvement, dedication, and the beauty of aesthetic experiences which can improve human life. The love of learning and the discipline to achieve that Allie inspires will serve the students well in everything they do. Allison also works tirelessly for the entire Greenwich community to improve our music curriculum in all the public schools, and she will be busy doing so again this summer. Allie Allerton is among the greatest assets in this exceptional district. I would like to close with a quote from Patrick Taylor, the esteemed head of choral music at Greenwich High and a former recipient of this award. Allison Allerton is a shining paradigm of excellence, the likes of which Greenwich has rarely seen. She inspires, challenges, and enlightens both her students and her peers. It is people like Allison who change the world.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank Barbara Tormenson and the Distinguished Teachers Awards Committee for honoring me with this esteemed award. I'm deeply grateful to Karen Meyer for her nomination, her unwavering support over the years, and most of all for having such tremendously musically gifted children and living on the eastern end of town so that I would have the privilege of teaching them. This past March, Eastern Middle School held its first annual all-chorus concert at Greenwich High School. At one point during our warm-up, I had the classic "and then time stood still" moment, in which I looked out across the auditorium and saw more than 350 middle school students staring back at me, dressed in their finest, eagerly awaiting the start of their concert. It was one of the most proud moments I've ever had as a teacher, knowing that all of those students have chosen to make singing a part of their middle school experience. That fact certainly endears them to me, their choral teacher, but I think that makes them special children in general. They are children who live in a time when technological advancements make it possible to listen to any song at the click of a button, yet strive to learn how to make music themselves. Children who live in an era when instant gratification reigns supreme, yet spend 3 to 4 months preparing for one 12-minute performance. Children who cultivate their competitive drive with sports and academics, yet participate in concerts for the sheer enjoyment of making music with their peers. Children who are in the midst of the turbulence of adolescence, on the cusp of that age when it becomes cool to be apathetic, and yet make music that demands emotional sensitivity and personal expression. Yes, I teach very special students indeed. To be honored today for doing what I love and teaching the remarkable children I teach, to be joining the ranks of many of the Greenwich Public Schools' most well-respected and celebrated teachers is truly humbling. Thank you again.
Now I'd like to introduce Lisbeth Carballo. Lisbeth nominated Jessica Baker. Jessica is a teacher of the Advanced Learning Program at North Street School.
In my 6 years as a North Street School parent, I have met many amazing teachers who consistently go above and beyond the call of duty in the academic and character education of our children. This year, I decided to put my money where my mouth was. When I read the DTA criteria, I knew that Jessica Baker would nail every category, and she did. The support I received for her nomination was totally overwhelming. So many students, parents, colleagues, and administrators had such unique and invaluable things to say about Jessica that we had to work our margin and font magic to extremes to get as much as possible onto those limited number of pages. If I had more than a minute, I would thank every one of you personally. We could not have done without you. Not only is Jessica a truly talented and gifted teacher for her ALP students, but during her 9 years in the Greenwich Public Schools, she has taken on numerous leadership roles at North Street School and been part of many townwide committees. For many students, Jessica Baker will be that one teacher that they will remember the rest of their lives. Dear Jessica, on behalf of the entire North Street School and ALP community, I'm congratulating you on your so well-deserved award. As your colleague Cynthia Sherwin points out, Jessica, you are ALP, admired for your leadership and professionalism. You truly are an inspiration to us all.
It's an honor and a privilege to receive this recognition today. Thank you to the DTA committee for providing this opportunity to celebrate all of the wonderful teaching that goes on in Greenwich Public Schools. Thank you to Elizabeth Carballo and Beth Ryan for nominating me, and to Dr. Smith and Cynthia Sherwin for seconding the nomination. Thank you to my colleagues at North Street and in the ALP department, for past and present administrators, and especially to my students and their families for continued support and inspiration. This process has given me a chance to reflect on what I do and what I believe is best for children. And as a result, it really forced me to become more aware of my personal missions and my beliefs about growing kids. Robert Marzano states that a teacher's beliefs about students' chances of success in school influence the teacher's actions with students, which in turn influence students' achievement. He believes this happens on a subconscious level. On a very conscious level, I believe that our students will be our future leaders in every field, in every industry. And I believe it is our responsibility to prove to them that their possibilities are limitless. I believe in teaching children to push themselves, to challenge others, and to allow themselves to be challenged in order to grow. I believe in cultivating positive relationships with children in order to allow them to be curious, take risks, explore, but also to become accountable, responsible, and independent lifelong learners. I want to share a poem written by a former 5th grade student that I chose because I think it exemplifies the impact of strong relationships between teachers and students, and it inspires us to continue to do the very best we can. There is honey, raven, and rose, fragrance wafting through air, one warm summer day. The bee protects the honey, the night protects the raven, the water protects the rose. All beauty is protected by another, which means that the honey, raven, and rose protect someone else. A girl licks the honey, captures the raven, picks the rose. A teacher tells girl not to do so, so she doesn't take any more honey. She frees the raven and replants the rose. Scanning horizons, the teacher expands the horizon. Perseverance, confidence, knowledge, hope. This is what teachers have given me.
Our third nominator is Marcia Schenker, who nominated Rita Baker. Rita is a German and French teacher at Greenwich High School.
Good afternoon. A very wise teacher said to me a very long time ago, teaching is autobiography. We teach more by who we are than by what we actually teach. Rita Baker epitomizes the true meaning of this concept, for Rita truly believes that if she gives of herself, if she embraces each and every student with a warm and open heart, they will surely grow up to be well-educated, caring, productive adults. She will help them to conquer each of the challenges they face through her knowledge, her perseverance, her skill, and her genuine concern for them. For that is who she is. And her students carry her in their hearts long after they graduate from Greenwich High School. Mr. Paul Rudd, father of 3 Greenwich High School graduates who seconded Rita's nomination, told me that for his son, having Rita as his teacher was a life-changing experience. The entire course of his life and his career was shaped by the experiences he had in her classes. Our Mandarin Chinese teacher stood up last week at our program meeting where we celebrated Rita's award, and she said, when I first came here 3 years ago to Greenwich High School, I thought, how special am I that Rita does so much for me and cares so much about me. And then the next year, when the new crop of new teachers came, I looked around and I said, maybe I'm not so special. Rita treats everybody as though they were special, for that is her gift. to make everyone with whom she comes into contact feel special, capable, respected, and appreciated. She does this with both her students and her colleagues. And of course, for us, she is the most special one of all. I'd like to thank Barbara Gnadig and Paul Rudd for helping me with this nomination. It is my honor to present Rita Baker, a most distinguished teacher.
I promise I'll speak in English. I love to see people's reactions when I tell them that I've been teaching at Greenwich High School for 35 years. Their mouths gape, their eyes widen, and I think they expect me to collapse into a wheelchair right in front of them. But to the contrary, after all these years, I am still energized and excited about what I do. I absolutely love teenagers. I really do. I really do. They always have so much excitement and drama in their lives as they stand on the cusp of becoming an adult. My students always have a story to tell, and it's always one that I want to hear. And when they tell me these stories in French or German, I feel I've reached language teacher nirvana. Teenagers are always passionate about something, and I feel it's my job to channel some of that excitement and passion into the study of a world language and culture. I want them to understand that through the use of appropriate vocabulary and grammar, they can communicate with other peoples and other cultures, and that opens up a whole new exciting world of people, places, and things outside of Greenwich, Connecticut. So first and foremost, I would like to thank the thousands of students I've had the pleasure of teaching these past 35 years, and especially the students who came here today to share in this humbling yet glorious moment in my career. Ich liebe euch. Vielen Dank. Merci beaucoup. I would also like to thank my colleagues, past and present, Barbara and Paul, who seconded this nomination, and the entire World Language Department, especially Marcia, our fearless leader. It is amazing to me how she's able to bring together teachers who themselves are from many different cultures and encourage and guide us in collaborating, sharing, and working toward a common goal. As I told the World Language teachers last week, when one of us is honored by this special tribute, we are all honored. So I congratulate all of us. Thank you so much.
Next, we will hear from Laura Glanville, who nominated Cheryl Pierce. Cheryl is a first grade teacher at Parkway School.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Laura Glanville, and I would like to introduce Cheryl Pierce as the recipient of the Distinguished Teachers Award. This is the first time after 6 nominations that Cheryl has won, which proves that year after year, parents of her students believe that Cheryl deserves this honor. What I find most remarkable about Cheryl is her true love that she has for teaching and for each and every student that she comes across. She finds what makes each child tick and works with that to motivate each child to work to the best of his or her ability. My children attend both private and public schools in the area, and I have yet to find a teacher with more love, passion, and enthusiasm for what she does. Cheryl, the Distinguished Teachers Award could not go to a more deserving person. Congratulations on behalf of me and my husband, and from all of your students, parents, and colleagues from years current and past.
I have the most amazing parents. Thank you, Laura. Board of Education, Dr. Freund, Distinguished Teachers Committee, friends, and most of all, children. It's an honor to stand before you here today, but I don't stand alone. I'm a team member. 16 years ago, I was asked to join the staff and reopen Parkway School under the creative leadership of Sandy Mond. She put together 20 teachers and called us the Dream Team. This team was formed, and we had the most amazing challenge, something that will stand out throughout all my years, to try to create an elementary school from the ground up. We thought about, wow, how will we do recess duty? How will we run cafeteria lunches and so forth? We all sat, we all bonded, and we really enjoyed the very unique experience of putting a very special school together. As the population grew, so did the Dream Team. Today we stand, many members, many bonds, many special talents. All these people I give thanks to today. I share this award with you. To Paula Blakely, Barbara Riccio, Christy Goldstein, for your wonderful influence, guidance, and support. To my amazing team of first grade teachers, Molly Grimmenstein, thank you for my second nominating me. Julia Haskotzel, Kat Brunswick, to you all for helping create harmony amidst chaos sometimes, for your talent and warmth. To all the staff and administration at Parkway School, it's the best in the land, honest. To my unbelievably loyal parents that make my job a pleasure every day. To my husband, wherever he might be, the best teacher I've ever had, and most of all, to the amazing children that I am teaching and have taught. You are the reason that I love what I do. Thank you.
And now we'll hear from Lorraine Duffy, who nominated Kathleen Steiner. Kathleen is a teacher of wellness education at Greenwich High School.
It is my privilege to speak of Kathy Steiner because she distinguishes herself every hour of every day in every way. She is an exceptional teacher because she is such a stellar person. Personally, she is the embodiment of her message to students because she lives the lifestyle that she advocates. The breadth of her concrete knowledge is extensive, but teaching wellness requires more than concrete knowledge. It takes a perceptive, sensitive, understanding, and loving person, and this is where Kathy truly distinguishes herself. She is both sympathetic and empathetic, passionate and compassionate, yet she challenges her students to make the right choices and gives them the tools to do so. What is truly extraordinary about Kathy's endeavors is that they are all self-initiated. She identifies a need in the school or community and creates a program, committee, club, or workshop to address this need. She taps on all the expertise in the community to assist our students. Making connections and building bridges are Kathy's trademarks. Kathy is consistently a beacon to those around us, and I am happy that she has the opportunity today to really stand up and shine. My colleague, my friend, my honor to introduce Kathy Steiner.
Good afternoon, everyone. It really is, I'm truly honored to be here, and I'm so appreciative for everything Lorraine has done for me. She has stood by me for the last 11 years that I've been at Greenwich High School, and we talk and we discuss and we think about our students and how can we help them make healthy, safe choices and to really become the adults that we all know they want to become. I also want to thank in the nominating process our headmaster at Bella House, Lorraine Termini, who I've known for many years in special education, as well as now headmaster, or housemaster of Bella. And she really has an open door. She's always willing to listen and to support whatever I come to her with, so I thank her for that. I also thank Amy Bedini. She is a parent at Eastern Middle School, and she's also a parent at Greenwich High School. She helps me advise our Greenwich High School Outreach Club, and she works tirelessly and passionately to really help our students learn the importance of keeping themselves safe and to party sober. I really am very fortunate, and thank you so much, Dr. Freund, and our Distinguished Teachers Award Committee, and also the Board of Education. There are so many people who are in our district that I've had the pleasure of working with over the last 20-some years, 11 of those being at Greenwich High School. And my wellness education room is right next to Rita's German room, and I love it because I get to see Rita every day, and hopefully it's not too loud in my classroom or too crazy, but I just love being at the high school, and I echo what Rita said. I love the teenagers over there. They are kind, they are giving, they are energetic. They have so much to say and so much to do, and they truly will change the world. And I do believe it takes a village to raise a child, and I'm so very fortunate to work with teachers, both in my department and in the school, in our district. I'm so very fortunate to work with so many community organizations. In fact, we just had a health fair at Greenwich High School today with so many community organizations taking part and giving their support, and working with so many parents who support everything I do. I can't do it alone, so the support that I get is amazing. So I do really, truly thank everyone, appreciate your support, and together we really can make a difference. Thank you.
Shelley Sommers, the principal at Central Middle School, will now introduce Sherry Lynn Woolard. Sherry is an 8th grade teacher at Central.
Good afternoon. I'm honored to be able to introduce Sherry Woolard as Central's Distinguished Teacher this year. Sherry believes in action. Action learning, action teaching, social action, and the action of team sports. From the very first moment students enter Wally World, they are physically, emotionally, socially, and intellectually engaged in learning, not only in science, but in caring for each other, in caring for the environment, and in caring for their world. As founder of Central's service organization, Just Cause, Sherry teaches students what giving back to the community really means. On a personal note, my first week at Central, when I was facing a devastatingly cold winter and had not a single friend, Sherry brought me soup. I don't think I need to say any more. Sherry has obviously been a distinguished teacher for a long time, and I know that the Central community joins me in thanking her for all of her work.
This is a terrible time to be a W. I can't even begin to tell you what amazing teachers I'm with up here on this stage. And to be honest with you, you do find out it's a village. Kathy Steiner's son was one of my students. Cheryl's student right now. I have her older sister as a student. And, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget your name. I'm sorry. Rita, no, not Rita. Jessica, I'm sorry, Jessica. I'm just nervous up here a little bit. Jessica's former student is one of my students who's going to change the world in movies. I can't even begin to tell you how much I didn't want to take this award as an individual. I was really seriously very upset about it because I like to fly under the radar and just do what I do in my classroom. Because really, Teaching is about community, and I've never been more aware of that than when Dr. Bulger hired me many years ago, and I taught ice cream as a way to teach phase change, and they kept asking who that ice cream girl was and if he would hire him, this person, and that was me. And I thought, I don't do this by myself. I walk down the hall if I need to understand math better, and I talk to the math teachers. My language arts teachers help me every day by giving me inspiration on how to make something I do better. I go into the gym, I go into the art rooms, because I am persuaded that even though I love science, and I think that is probably one of the most amazing things, that I'm just a stepping stone in a community where your kids, our kids, are the cause. And they are the most important thing that we have, and they are our best resources. I simply believe this in my classroom. If you give the kids the tools to succeed, they will never fail us. If you give them an opportunity to be part of a community, they will be a part of community better than we expect. Goethe once said, if you treat people as they are, they will become worse. I started to think about that in my classroom as I started to look around and decide what I wanted our students to be. And I stopped looking at them as science students, and I started looking at them as the amazing musicians you saw this morning. That was the orchestra. My nominator originally was Dr. Barrett. She started that. As I came in here and I looked at the walls in Stacy's school, I couldn't believe how much we almost cut art. And the times that we look at putting music on the chopping block for test scores. Because I think it's a community, and I'm so lucky to be at Central, because I play for Team Central, but I work in Community Greenwich. So thank you so much for everything. I appreciate your support.
Well, congratulations to all 6 of our very distinguished teachers. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Leslie Moriarty, who is the Vice Chairman of the Board of Education.
Hi, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here. This is one of my favorite events of the school year because we get to acknowledge the importance and success of excellent teachers. First, I want to thank the members of the Distinguished Teachers Committee. Your job is a difficult one, and we appreciate the thoughtfulness you bring to the challenge. One of the first lessons I learned on the Board of Education that all the plans, curriculum objectives, professional development, and funding in the world will not be successful unless you have effective teachers in the classroom. High-quality teachers changes lives. It inspires children to do more, overcome challenges, and reach higher. It inspires other teachers to do more, overcome challenges, and reach higher. And it inspires principals, parents, and board members to do more, overcome challenges, and reach higher. These 6 teachers represent some of the best we have in Greenwich. They have distinguished themselves by reaching out and making a difference in children's lives. And by doing so, they set an example for the rest of us to follow. On behalf of the Board of Education, we want to thank you for your dedication, your creativity, your perseverance, your enthusiasm, and your professionalism. And we hope that we have the benefit of your experience for years to come. You make us proud. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank all of you for coming here this afternoon, and I want to give a special thank you to Kim Eves and to Carol DeSalvo for all of their work organizing this event here today. We certainly couldn't have done it without them. And again, I also want to thank my committee members. I thank them for their time and their commitment to this program. I'd like all of you to please join us across the hall for a reception. And again, I want to say thank you and congratulations to our 2010 distinguished teachers.